You know how a song can sometimes feel like a whole world? At first glance, BTS's Swim seems like this beautiful track about attraction. But if you listen a little closer, you start to realize the water, it isn't just a backdrop. It's this symbolic space where longing, fear, and freedom all come together. And that's really the big question we're diving into. We're going to treat this song as more than just music. Think of it as a doorway into some of our most universal feelings, from the burnout of modern life to the hope that maybe, just maybe, beauty can help us carry our sadness. So to really get why someone would want to just plunge into the water, we first have to understand the world they're trying to get away from. The song paints this picture of a harsh, loud, demanding world, one that makes closeness feel less like romance and more like, well, essential shelter. The philosopher Byung-Chul Han actually has a name for this feeling. He talks about how we live in an age that just wears people out. We're constantly exposed, always trying to optimize ourselves, and feeling this pressure to be on all the time. And it's not just about work, right? It's this deep, soul-level exhaustion. And then you have SUGA's perspective, which just cuts right through all that theory to the very human heart of it. It's not about some grand solution. It's about this simple, profound craving for just one place or one person where you can finally stop performing and just admit, I'm tired. So, in a world that feels like it's drowning you in all this noise and pressure, closeness becomes oxygen. It's not just about wanting someone, it's about relief. It's that feeling of finally exhaling after you've been holding your breath for way too long. But once you find that refuge, a whole new question pops up. And this is where the song gets really interesting, because Swim isn't just about finding safety, it's charged with something else. That strange, powerful pull that happens when something beautiful is also a little bit dangerous. You can see this perfectly in the imagery of the moon and the sharks. On one hand, you've got the moon. It's pure magic, right? Seduction, atmosphere, that soft light. But then, on the other hand, you have the sharks. That's pure instinct, hunger, the primal knowledge that something under all that beauty could actually bite. So, why are we so drawn to this mix? Well, the psychotherapist Esther Perel explains this so well. She says that while safety is great for attachment, desire needs a little uncertainty to breathe. It thrives on that feeling that things are still unfolding. And danger just makes beauty feel electric, like it's alive. And this is why it's so magnetic. Danger takes beauty from being something you just look at and puts it right into your bloodstream. You're not a spectator anymore. You are inside the experience, and you can feel it. That physical response is a huge part of what makes it so unforgettable. Okay, so all of this builds up to the song's real turning point. The longing is there, the risk is understood, and just watching from the shore, it's just not enough anymore. We've come to the moment of decision. We hesitate at the edge of what we want for a good reason. First, there's the overthinking, right? Just being a spectator to your own life. Then you start weighing the risks, afraid that if you jump, you might lose the person you used to be. But then comes that moment of truth, where you realize that staying frozen on the shore is its own kind of pain, maybe even worse than the fear of the water. And that's when it breaks. I just want to dive. This line isn't just about wanting something. It's a declaration. It's the sound of all that resistance finally giving way, of your energy shifting from just watching life to deciding to actually enter it. The philosopher Soren Kierkegaard described this internal shift perfectly. He said that before the dive, the self is just scattered, a bunch of what-ifs and possibilities. But in the moment of action, the self chooses itself. It becomes actual. You stop just dreaming about a life, you start living it. All right, so you've taken the dive. What happens after? This leads us to a much deeper question. The person in the song is obviously trying to escape a kind of heaviness, but can beauty and love really heal that sorrow, or are they just a temporary distraction? And this is such an important distinction. A temporary escape is all about turning away from the wound. The question is, how can I stop feeling this right now? And it might work for a bit, but it often leaves you feeling empty later. True healing, though, it turns toward the wound, but with kindness, asking a totally different question. What do I need to live through this? I absolutely love how the poet John O'Donohue puts this. He says healing isn't always about making the pain go away. A lot of the time, it's about changing the space around the pain. Beauty doesn't erase the wound, it just puts some light near it. Love puts some warmth near it. It doesn't have to sit alone in the dark anymore. So the healing in swim isn't this sudden, fake happiness. It's something much quieter. It's like a rhythm slowly returning to your life. It's this subtle but powerful sense that, yeah, the darkness might still be there, but it's no longer the only voice in the room. So when we put all these pieces together, we get to the song's ultimate meaning. That swim, it's not an escape from life at all. It's actually a powerful, courageous return to life.
It's a return to feeling again, especially if you've been numb. It's a return to your body after living in your head for too long. It's about being willing to be vulnerable again, to feel alive, and to connect with that part of yourself that hasn't been hardened by all the pressure and the noise.
And this, for me, is the most powerful takeaway. The song shows us that there are moments where the goal isn't to have all the answers. It's not to guarantee you'll be safe. Sometimes, the bravest and most life-changing thing you can do is just say, I'm ready to enter. So as we wrap this up, the song leaves us with a question that goes way beyond the music. It kind of turns to each of us and asks, okay, look at your own life. Where is the water that you're standing at the edge of, just waiting to enter?